सर्वेशांच ब्रह्मणि स्थिति रूपपद्यता है. The objector was said in the end that it is possible, it is reasonable also that all, whoever it might be of any, whoever is in whichever stage of life, can get that ability or that competency to establish themselves in Brahma. Because yatra yatra nimittam asti, इसमें क्या व्याप्ति, व्याप्ति यत्र यत्र धूम तत्र ध्रुवन्नि. Similarly, is telling यत्र यत्र निमित्तम अस्ति ब्रह्मणि स्थिति तस्य तस्य निमित्तवतो वाचकम संतम ब्रह्म संस्थ शब्दम परिव्राडेक विषय संकोचे कारणाभावात् निरुद्धम अयुक्तम. यत्र यत्र निमित्तम अस्ति ब्रह्मणि संस्थितिः, in whomsoever there exists the competence of establishing in Brahman, tasya tasya nimittavata, with regard to all of those people who are competent. The word here, Brahma Sanstha Shabda, the word Brahma Sanstha Shabda is being used. Vachakam Santam. In its etymological sense only. Vachakam is here, the etymological sense only. The word is being used for all these people, irrespective of their stage of life. Parivradeka Vishaya Sankocha. And that word, you want to reduce it, you want to limit it to what? To a sannyasi, to a monk. This is not right. Because, why? Because karana bhavat, there is no reason that you can give based on which you want to limit the meaning of this word. Nirodham mayuktam. Such a restriction is groundless. You cannot do so. Nacha parivrajyasana dharmatrinam mritatvam. And moreover, you see, no one can achieve that immortality just by following all the dharma virtues that has been described for a monk. Just by following the virtues, by performing or adopting the virtues in his life that has been stated for a monk, by that nobody can attain liberation. Immortality cannot be achieved. Amritatvam na parivrajyasya dharmatrena. Just by merely following the virtues prescribed for a monk, nobody can attain. At that stage of life, nobody can attain the liberation. Why? Then, all the Upanishads are telling, Jnana Devidu Kaivalyam, it will become meaningless. Jnana Anarthakya Prasanga. Then the knowledge, which you are speaking of always, that knowledge is the only thing that can give liberation, will become useless. Just by following the ashram dharma, if I can get moksha, why should I go for all this Upanishad headaches, all this bhashyam and all? Why should we read? Why should we get into these things? It will be useless totally. Therefore, never say that just virtues can give you liberation. That means you have to say virtues plus knowledge. This is what he wants to bring. And that can be possible. That is possible in the other stages of life. Why only in a monk? That's what he says. Parivrajya dharma yuktam eva jnanam amrita sadhanam iti chet. If one of the counter objection, Siddhanti Ekadeshi it is, not Siddhanti. It's a counter objection by one of the persons, the lobby of the doctriner. Parivrajya dharma yuktam eva jnanam. All that virtues prescribed for a monk, along with or associated with knowledge, is a cause for amritatam, for liberation, for immortality. Iti chet, then the objector says no. Ashram dharmatva visheshat. Then the other people also following the virtues prescribed for them in their stage of life. Ashram dharmatva avisheshat. There is no, you cannot distinguish. It is not distinguished separately that this ashram dharma is going to give you moksha, and this ashram dharma is going to give you sansara. It is not stated anywhere like that in the Vedas. But what is swakarmanatam abhyarcha siddhim vidhati manavaha, it has been told. So anybody who is staying in whichever stage of life, if he performs or follows those virtues prescribed for his stage of life, he will also attain moksha. This is what other people are saying, the other Shruti and Smriti. There is no distinction between the other ashrama dharmas, the other virtues of the other stages of life, and the virtues of a monk stage of life. Ashram dharmatva avisheshas. There is no distinction between the virtues prescribed for the other stages of life and the stage of life of a monk. Or the other way, Bhashakara says, Dharmo va jnana vishishta. Amrit sadhanam ityetadapi sarvashra dharmanam vishishtam. Or the virtues. Even if it is held that the virtues associated with knowledge is going to give liberation for a monk, then I will say that this can be equally stated for the other stages of life also, because they are also following the virtues that is the stage for their life, their stage of life. Sarvashram dharmanam avishishtam. Because dharmo va jnana vishishta, jnana vishishta dharma eva amrita sadhanam. If it is held so, then it can be equally stated for the other stages of life also, because other people, in the case of other stages of life, they are also following the ashrama dharma, the virtues prescribed for their stage of life. And there is no such statement also anywhere in the Vedas. Nacha vachanam asti. Parivrajaka brahma sansasa moksha nanyashamiti. There is no such declaration in any part of the Veda that a Brahma Sansa Parivrajaka is going to attain liberation, and a Brahma Sansa Grihastha, Brahma Sansa Brahmachari, and Brahma Sansa Vanaprastha will not attain liberation. There is no such statement anywhere. Moreover, or instead, we can see a general statement is like this: Jnanat Moksha iti. Sarvopanishadam Siddhanta. This is the conclusion of all the Upanishads. Only one thing: you are going to attain liberation by knowledge. And which type of knowledge is different? Knowledge alone will give, or along with the virtues. That's a different thing. But all are telling that knowledge gives moksha. Therefore now the objector says, Tasmat yayeva brahma sanstaha swashravita karmavatam swamritatam eviti. Isliye whoever it might be so, who is following all the virtues prescribed for his stage of life, among them swashravita karmavatam, among such people, whoever becomes a brahma sanstha, established in Brahman, has got the right to attain liberation, to attain immortality. That means without karma there is no moksha. Karma jnana samuchaya. Along with the virtues, only the knowledge can give liberation, not only jnana. Other than excluding karma, excluding the virtues, jnana, the knowledge, cannot give liberation. This is the Purvapaksha, the objector. Now the doctrine says, no. Very big Purvapaksha. Very long study he has given. Now starts. The Siddhanti, the doctriner says, no. Only jnana, only knowledge, pure, can give you moksha, without the help or association of the virtues. The virtues make your internal organ ready for the experience. But directly, there is no relationship between the actions and the experience. Only the knowledge is related directly to the experience. That's why it says, karma nimitta vidya pratyor virodhat. Karma nimitta, the knowledge required for the rights and the knowledge required for realization are totally opposed to each other. You see, now we have to remember one, that the Bhashakara uses these words. Whenever he is using only pratyaya, it means usually cognition. And he is using only vidya word elsewhere. It is upasana, meditation. Mostly meditation. But when both the words are used together, now we are using vidya pratyaya. Karma nimitta vidya pratyaya. Karma nimitta pratyaya and vidya pratyaya. Two pratyayas are there. One pratyaya is karma nimitta pratyaya. The other pratyaya is Vidya pratyaya. What is meant by this? Here pratyaya means, whenever both are used together, pratyaya means knowledge. And Vidya means realization. That difference you have to keep in mind all the time. Here it's not meditation. Vidya means here realization. The knowledge related to realization that is required for realization is called as Vidya pratyaya. Vidya pratyaya means knowledge that is required for realization is called as Vidya pratyaya, and knowledge required for doing the different rites is called as Karma nimitta pratyaya. So they are opposed to each other. These two knowledge, the knowledge necessary for rites and the knowledge necessary for realization, are totally opposed to each other. How? When you put the question, he explains. First to understand the knowledge that is required for karma, for the rites. What knowledge is required? The knowledge of oneself as different from all others. That is duality. I am different, that world is different, heaven, and I want to go to heaven. Until this duality is not there, you are not fit for rites. This duality is the essential thing for all rites. And knowledge of non-duality is the essential thing for realization. Sadekameva advitiyam brahma. This knowledge is necessary. There is a Bhashkara says, Kartradi karaka kriya phala bheda pratyavattam hi nimittam upadaya idam kuru idam makarashir iti karma vidaya pravrittaha. All the injunctions mentioned in the Vedas proceed, pravritta, are being forced on you actually. Why? Because you are accepting that you are the agent of the right, and you are accepting that I want to do this, and you are wishing the result of it. Kartradi, because all like the differences that are being necessary, being accepting the condition. Nimittam upadaya. These condition you are accepting. The Vedas is accepting these conditions is there in you. And then the Vedas will say, idam kuru, do this. Idam makarshi, don't do this. Iti. This is how, in this way, all the injunctions are proceeding towards you. But for these injunctions, the Vedas is accepting one thing in you. What is that? It is accepting the differences that you are accepting within yourself. What are those differences? Kartradi karaka. The first thing is kartrutvam. You know that I am the agent, the doer of the right, and this bhoktritvam. I am the enjoyer of the fruits of this right, and these are the actions that I have to do, one step by step, to perform this right. Kriya, phala, bheda. Due with these differences, this differential knowledge in you is there. Bheda, pratyavatvam. The differences among the accessories of rights, like the agent, the actions, and the result, accepting these conditions, the Vedic texts, all the injunctions in the Vedic texts, accepting these conditions only, are stating do this and don't do this. Tacha nimittam na shastrikritam. And remember, all these conditions, the differences that we are accepting among the accessories of rights, is not being imposed on you by the Shastra. Shastras are just repeating that you already have and stating only, if you do this, you'll get this, if you don't do this, don't get this. That's all. Is anuvada of that exists in you due to ignorance.
But there is vidya nisheta in the...
Vidya of kartrutvam is not there. Vidya of phala is not there. No, for this phala, do this kriya is telling, that's all. It is not telling you should wish this phala. Did it say?
No.
No, but But this phalam you will not get.
That is there. Who is wishing the phala? That means the phala is in you. Kartritva is in you. Just taking the anuvada of that phala and kartritvam, this, the Vedas says only, if you do this yajna, you will fulfill your wish. That means the kartritvam that is in me, the doership or the agent that I am accepting myself, and the fruits, the results of the rights which I accept in myself are not being imposed on us by the Shastra, by the scriptures. That's what Bhashakara says. Tacha nimittam, all these differences of the results, the doership, and the actions and the accessories that are needed for the rights, all these differences which you are accepting within yourself are not being imposed by the Shastra. Na Shastra Kritam. Why? Sarva Pranishu Drashtas. Because it is seen in all creatures. The Sadhya Sadhana Bheda, the difference of the thing that we want to attain and the means of attaining them, all these things, and the attainer of myself, that the agent of the doing of the rights and all these things are accepted, is seen in each and every creature. Whether they have studied the Vedas or not studied the Vedas. The only thing, their actions are not the Vedic actions. But still in their actions, you can see these differences. The phala is there. Even a cowherd boy also wishes things, and he just finds out the means of attaining it. And he attains it also, and he enjoys it. The kartritvam is there, bhaktritvam is there, everything is there. Even in a person who has not studied any shastras. Therefore, this kartritva, bhoktritva, sadhya sadhana, bheda, all these things are not being imposed or enforced on us by the Shastra, but it is being accepted, it is being seen in all creatures. Therefore, what the Shastras are doing is just repeating the whole thing that you are possessing within yourself. And just the injunctions are only to relate your kartritvam with the phala, by stating the proper means to attain it. It says, well, you do this yajna, you will attain this. It is stating the means and how to perform those means, those yajnas. The procedure is being stated. That's all.
So giving means and ends.
Yeah, that's all. Not ends, means for the ends. Means for the ends only. And the procedure of those means are being mentioned in the Vedas. Now come on the other side. This is about the karma. This knowledge should be in us. A person who is possessing such a knowledge that I am the agent, these are the accesses that I am having, through these means I am going to attain such and such an end, because the Vedas has said by these means you can attain such and such a result. A person possessing of such a knowledge is fit for the karma, for the rights. And now on the other hand, a person is fit for immortality. What knowledge he possesses? You see that knowledge? He is possessing of this knowledge. Sat ekameva dvityam atmaiva idam sarvam. These are Chandogya Upanishad. 6-1. Sarvam brahmaiva idam. No, you have to do like Sadekameva Advityam, separate, 6-1. Atmaiva idam sarvam. In the same Chandogya, 7.25-2. These are Narada Upanishad, Narada. Brahmaiva idam sarvam iti Nirsimha Uttartapina Upanishad. Iti Shastra Janya Pratyo Vidyarupaha. That arises now, you see. These are the scriptures. From these scriptures, the knowledge that arises after hearing, understanding, practicing it properly, meditating on this with reflection and proper nidhyasana. Sat ekameva dvitiyam. Atmavidam sarvam. Brahmaividam sarvam. Once you realize, for realizing what the meaning of these sentences, first you have to have the knowledge of the sentences properly. And the knowledge that is arising, Shastra Janya Pratyaya, the knowledge that is arising from these scriptures. What do they do? In form of realization, Vidyarupaha. That knowledge will lead you to realization. It will convert itself into experience. The formal knowledge that you are attaining from these statements will transform into experience, into realization. And what will that knowledge do? That experience will do, that realization. What's going to happen due to that realization? He says, Swabhavikam kriya karphala veda pratyam karma vidhi nimittam anupamritya na jayate. Such a knowledge cannot arise at all without demolishing all these natural idea about the kriya karphala veda pratyam, that knowledge which was before of the differences in the accessories, the results, the agentship, etc. Without demolishing this knowledge, which was the cause, which was a precondition for the rights, the knowledge of non-duality from the Sadekameva Dvitiyam, Atayam Sarvam Brahmavidam Sarvam, from those Shastras cannot arise at all. Okay? Swabhavika means the natural idea that is in you. About what? Kriya Karaka Phala Bheda Pratyam, the knowledge of the differences among the accessories, the actions, the result, and Kartritvam means the agentship. This knowledge, what is the knowledge of these things? Karma vidhi nimittam, which are the preconditions for the injunctions of the rights. Anupamritya, without demolishing. Shastra jana pratyo vidyarupa na jayate. You have to just conjugate like this. Anupamritya is without demolishing this knowledge, which was a precondition for the rights. Na jayate. The non-dual knowledge from the Shastra, Sadekamidyam ityadi, etc. cannot arise at all. Why? Because Bheda Veda Pratyor Virodha. It is very, very simple way to understand. Knowledge with differences until it exists. A knowledge which has got its base as difference. Until it is not demolished, how can have knowledge of unity? A knowledge of unity can arise only when the knowledge of difference is demolished. Dvait का नाश के बिना अद्वैत का ज्ञान नहीं हो सकता. भेदा भेद प्रत्योर विरोधा. The Bheda Pratyaya and the Abheda Pratyaya, the knowledge of differences and the knowledge of unity are opposed to each other. He is making you to realize in a better way by an example here, an illustration is being given. Nai Taimirika Dvichandradi Bheda Pratyam Anupamritya Timrapagame Chandradi Ekatva Pratyaha Upajayate. For example, he says a person had got some disease in his eyes called as Timira, due to which in the nights he could see two moons at a time together. So once, without Taimirika Dvichandradi Bheda Pratyaya, due to this fault in his or disease in his eyes, that knowledge of two moons which was being experienced by the person before, without demolishing that knowledge. How are you going to demolish that knowledge? Timirapagame, by eradicating the disease, by removing the disease in the eye. Chandradi Ekatva Pratyaya no upajayate. Without doing so, Chandradi Ekatva Pratyaya, the unity in Chandra, the oneness of Chandra, the moon, cannot be experienced at all. That knowledge of oneness of Chandrama, oneness of the moon cannot arise at all. Similarly, it is here. The main reason here is for all the differential knowledge is ignorance. As in the eyes, there was one roga, one disease called Timira Roga. And now the disease in the Jivatma, in the individual, is what? The ignorance. Bhava Roga it is called as. Bhava means Janma. The Roga, which is the cause for again and again birth, is called as Bhava Roga. And that Bhava Roga, cause of that Bhava Roga is also to go into the depth of it, you'll find it is ignorance. And once you remove the ignorance, the veil of ignorance within you, then automatically the knowledge of the differences will be gone, will be demolished. And once that is demolished, automatically the non-dual knowledge arises. Vidya, avidya pratyor virodhat. The knowledge and ignorance are totally the knowledge which is cause for realization, and the knowledge is cause for this differential knowledge differences. Both are opposed to each other. Virodhat. They are opposed to each other. Tatraivan sati yam bhed pratya upadaya karmide pravritta sa yasyopamarditaha sadekamavidityam tat satyam vikara bhed anratamite vakya pramana janitena ekatva pratyena sa sarvakarmabhya nivritto nimitta nivritte hai. This being so, tatraivan sati. Now we have understood very clearly the karma nimitta pratyaya and vidya pratyaya are totally opposed to each other. And the reason was Bheda Pratirvada because the knowledge of duality and non-duality are totally opposed to each other. Thus, the knowledge which is the cause for realization and the knowledge which is the cause for all the karma, the rights, are totally opposed to each other. This being so, Tatraivan sati, yam bhed pratyupadaya, a person, whoever it might be, has got the conviction about differences based on which all injunctions proceeded. Bhed pratyupadaya karmavideha yam pratipravritta. A person towards whom these karmavideha, the injunctions of the rights, proceeded. Based on what? Bhed pratyupadaya. Based on the conviction about the differences of the accessories. That I am the agent, this is the fruit, these are the means, this is the procedure. A person is having this differential knowledge. Based on this, the injunctions proceeded to that person. Now the same person what he has done now, sa yasya upamardita. He whosoever has got rid of this differential knowledge. How he got rid of this? Because he attained the knowledge, another knowledge, the non-dual knowledge. From where? Sad ekamedityam tat satyam. He knew through this statement, 687, and experienced that Sat Ekamavetyam, I am Brahman, I am alone only, I am one only, I am non-dual only, Advityam, there is none other than me, there is nothing else as second. Tat Satyam, that form of mine which is transforming and transcending is Nama and Rupa, is name and form. That is the true, real self. Tat Satyam. And what is this Nama and Rupa then? This name and form? Vikara Bhedo Andritam. As a result of that, all, because the cause has ceased, the ignorance of the cause, when it ceases automatically, when it does not exist anymore, you will be experienced that all this is just an illusion. The Vikara Bheda, the differences that we are experiencing in this name and form on this world, we will experience this as andritam, as non-true. That means to say, these are illusory. Iti yetad vakya pramanajinitena ekatva pratyena. The knowledge or the result of the conviction of oneness that is arised from these statements, from these declarations. Etad vakya praman. And these vakyas are what? The authoritative statements. And knowledge that is arised by this is what? Ekatva pratyena. This is a non-dual knowledge, the knowledge of oneness. So, that person, he, sarvakarmabhyo nivritta, he desists from all kinds of rights and duties. Why? Because nimitta nivritte, all causes that were accepted for rights and duties cease to exist now. Such a nivritta karma, such a person, he who is actually desisting from all the rights and duties is Brahma Sanstha Uchate. Such a person is spoken of as Brahma Sanstha. And that can be possible only in a monk. Such a Parivara Deva Anyas Asambhavat. And that is possible only in a monk, Anyas Asambhavat. And it is impossible for any other person living in any other stage of life to be so. It is not possible because for him, a person is a brahmachari or a grihastha or a vanaprastha. They cannot attain, because it's very clearly told, without demolishing the duality, the knowledge of duality, you cannot attain this non-dual knowledge at all. This cannot arise at all. Therefore, if you are in that stage, automatically what will happen? if you are a grahastha, or if you are a brahmachari, or a vanaprastha also, if at the moment, the non-dual knowledge arises, what's going to happen? The dual knowledge will be gone. And after what you will be then? Will you be a grihastha? Will you be a brahmachari? There's no question of you will be Brahman. So that state, and after what is the spoken of Vithana will be automatically there. He will automatically come into sannyas. He cannot stay for a single moment as a brahmachari or a grihastha or a vanaprastha once he attains the non-dual knowledge. Because this arises demolishing all the dual knowledge. And without the knowledge of duality, and without accepting the differential knowledge of I am the agent, and this is the phala, and this is the result, and this is the means and all, a person cannot live in the other stages of life as brahmachari, or a celibate, or a grihastha as a householder, or a vanaprastha, a person in the jungles. Therefore, Bhashyakara finally says, Sacha parivara deva anyasa sambhava.
For me, that parivrana also, in Vyavaharika.
All this question will come now. But now the question arises then, who is doing the Vyavahara? Where the Vyavahara is happening? Because that Abhimana is not there, that I am body, I am so and so, I am Kartrutam Bhaktam is not there. It is being seen by an ignorant person that this person is going, he is sannyasi and he is doing this and that, he is going for food, he is going for doing this, he is doing that. But is it actually happening in his view? Is there any view of his that I am doing? Is that Abhimana is there?
Then similarly, a Grihastha's transactions, a Vanaprasthi's transactions can also be taken the same way. Right?
But he will not be there at all.
Correct. He will not be there.
He will not be there. He will come into sannyas automatically.
Without sannyas, that's what.
Without sannyas.
He cannot be said though, because without duality, he can't do any action there.
It's the same thing, Swamiji. I mean, a parivrana also.
The transaction would
Transactions
be...
are same. In Vyavaharika.
Trans are not same. Trans are not same. He gives up all rights. The non-duality makes you give up all rights automatically.
Vedic rights.
Vedic rights. Because the Vedic rights is based on dual knowledge only.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
This is what is told now.
Correct.
Therefore, once you are a grihastha means you will have to accept that dual knowledge and perform all the Vedic duties and rights. Therefore, once the non-dual knowledge arises, automatically your antakarana, the internal organ, will force you out of that whole state. That's why it is told, yadahare virajet, tadahare parivrajet. That state comes automatically. Now there will be a lot of questions. There is a lot of Shastrata anyway. We will see now. Anyohi, because for the reason now is given. Why? Why parivra deva? The reason is telling. Anyohi, anivritta bheda pratyaya. Is it not? Anivritta bheda pratyaya. So, anyat pashan, shrinvan, manvano, vijanan. Idam krutva, idam prapnuyamiti hi manyate. Because all other people who are living in the other stages of life, okay? Anya. How are they? Anivritta bheda pratyaha. They have not got rid of the dual knowledge. Therefore, so means he, that person, those people, what they do? Anyat pashan, shrinvan, manvano, vijanan. They will see, they will listen, they will think, and they will know other than themselves. There is something else which idam krutva, idam prapnayam. And they decide, by doing this, I am going to attain that. Because without this dual knowledge, he cannot go like this at all. Iti manyate. He believes in this. He has got total belief in this. His faith in that, in divinity. Tasyevam kurvado na brahma sanstataha. A person who is doing so, how you can expect in such a person that he is going to become a brahma sanstataha? How can engage him? A person who is engaged thus cannot establish himself in Brahman, the non-dual form. Vacharamana matrivikara nritavisandhi pratyavadvat. Because he, what he is doing, is told here now, because he is possessed of the ideas arising from the attachment to the false transformations. Vacharambana matra. All that is only name and forms. Vikara anrita. All these transformations are anrita, illusory, false. In that he has got abhisandhi. He is have a total conviction that this is truth, this is the absolute. He has got belief and faith in it. And such a knowledge is processing. The conviction is there in him that this is the right thing. He is possessed of such conviction or the ideas which are arising from the attachment to these false. Abhisandhi means there, attachment is there, abhimana is there. He is having attachment towards these false things, false transformations. And also at the same time, what are they? Vachamana matram. They are just name and form, no reality. The non-real name and form. In that, what is seeing? Reality. A person is having such a knowledge. Nacha asatyamiti upamardite. Bheda pratte. Satyam idam anina kartum mayati pramana prabuddhi rupapadete. Because once a thing which you have decided, which was false, once you have decided that the satyatva buddhi in that is destroyed, demolished, is destroyed. Once, before you were thinking what? All these things are real. This duality is real. Asatyam iti upamardite bheda pratyaya. The dual knowledge, the idea of duality. Bheda pratyaya means the idea or conviction of duality which was in you. What has been done? Once you understood. What you understood? Asatyam. This is non-real. Iti. Once you have understood, decide and experience, and you are experiencing these things as non-real, what's going to happen? The idea of duality is upamardite, is destroyed, is demolished totally. Once that has been done, after that, you can never say, idam satyam, this is truth. You can never say that this is true. And you can never say, anena kartavya maya, by this I am going to do this. You can never have such a knowledge in you. Why? Pramana pramya buddhir nacha upapadyate. The awareness of the means and objects of knowledge. Pramana is the means and pramya means objects of knowledge can never arise at all. So how a person will say that being in Grihastha, that I am Brahma Sanstha, therefore I will not do anything, and still I am a Grihastha. How you can do so?
I mean, not the Vedic karma, just like a
without a Vedic karma, how can be a Grihastha? That is the problem now. Because there are injunctions for a Brahmachari, for a Grihastha, and for a Vanaprastha. If you are there, means you have to follow these injunctions. To follow these injunctions, you have to accept the dual knowledge. So all comes automatically then in line. So the only person who is without any injunction is a sannyasi. Therefore, if you want to get into this non-dual state, a person, then he has to get into that stage of life also. This is another goal. He is giving a beautiful example here. Akashiva talamala buddhir vivekina. A person who has got a discriminative knowledge of this space. He knows what is space. Actually, the real form of space, if he knows, then he will never say that this space has got a bottom and there's not a dirt and dust here in the space. Nobody will say that. Vivekinaha talamula buddhir iva akashe. Just like a person with a discriminative knowledge about the space will never say that the space is bottom and dirt. Similarly, is this. A person who is experienced that this samsara is non-real can never say that this is what I have to do and this I should not do. Do's and don'ts cannot be applicable to such a person at all. Upamardite bhi bheda pratyek karmabhyo na nivartate chet. Even after this dual knowledge being demolished totally, the idea of the differences, the idea of duality, even after being demolished and destroyed totally, still the person is lingering on again and again in karma, in the rights. Means what? Chet Pragiva Bheda Prati Umardhanad Ekat Prati Vidhayakam Vakyam Apramanikatum Sya. Then all this Vedanta Vakya will become totally invalid. Meaningless then, these statements. Sajekame Vadvityam, Tattvamasi, all these Vakya statements will become invalid totally. Prag Iva, just like before, as he was doing before, Bheda Pratyupamardanat, Bheda Pratyupamardanat, Prag Iva, Karmabhyo, Na Nivartate Chet. Before the dual knowledge was not destroyed, as he was doing. Similarly, if it does, after the destruction of this dual knowledge, then Ekatva Prati Vidhayakam, all those Vedic texts which are enjoining the conviction of unity, those statements, Vakyam, Apramadikritam Syat, you are stating that all these are invalid totally. But it cannot be so. A thing which is prohibiting certain thing cannot be totally invalid. Just like Abhaksha Bhaksha Nisheda. Even that is Nisheda. This is doing Advaita Nisheda. Ekam Eva Advitiyam. Is Dvitiyaka Nisheda. Is it not? Prohibition of duality is being done. And just because prohibition of duality is done, this statement is invalid. Then all those statements in the Vedas which are prohibiting you for doing certain things, they will become invalid. That just because it is prohibiting what you are wishing, it cannot become invalid. I like duality and the Vedas are prohibiting it. Therefore, those statements are invalid for me. It cannot be so. Because what I am wishing or the reality that I am holding in this samsara and this world is due to my ignorance. And to unveil this ignorance only, the Shastras are there. Therefore, those Shastras, those Vedic texts which are declaring the non-duality are more valid than those which are just repeating the duality which we have in us, accepting all the dual knowledge within us and just stating the means to attain our ends. Those statements are not much valid. The Bhashakara says, Abhaksha Bhakshanadi Pratisheda Vakyanam Pramanyavat Yuktam Ekatvakasya Pramanyam. Just like those texts which are prohibiting from eating those things which should not be eaten. As those statements are authoritative, are valid, similarly, Pramanyavat, like the validity of those statements, similarly, Yuktam, it is reasonable to say these statements which are stating the non-duality of your real form, Ekatva Vakyasyapi, these statements are also Pramanyam, are valid and authoritative. Pura Paksha will say then all Karmakanda is useless. Bhashikar said, don't worry, there are millions and millions of people who are not ready to accept Vedanta. They are fit for that only. Going to that. Sarvopanishadam tadparatva. On what basis you are saying so? He says, since all the Upanishads establish this fact only. Therefore you can't invalidate the whole Upanishads itself, all the Upanishads. You will have to accept the validity of the Upanishads because all the Upanishads are established on one single fact, that this duality is totally illusion. It's totally unreal. And what is your real form? That is the true Brahman, the yourself, is the only thing that is reality. And once you are experienced that, then you will see there is nothing other than it at all. So the dual knowledge cannot exist in any form, in any way, in such a person.